Morning. You guys should have your warm-up page out. We're going to start there once everybody gets here.
I got a question.
Yep, go ahead.
Why is there one that says 21 through 25 and this other thing?
I don't know what you mean.
Both these things are due Friday.
The journal?
The journal and this warm-up thing. What is this?
Yep. Right here, what we do every day.
Okay, but why does one say journal September? Oh, wait a minute. Never mind.
Okay. Hi, McKenna.
Wait a minute.
Okay, we're going to get started here. So we're going to go to their warm-up page. Remember, that should be a document that you've saved that we're just going to add to today. And it's going to be September 21 this week through the 25th.
Miss Zepka.
Yeah.
Did you post a new journal?
Yep, but I haven't talked about it yet, so don't worry about it yet. It's coming up. You're giving away all my secrets, Tanner.
I'm sorry. It's just confusing.
Okay, so if I could get you to mute, and I will go ahead and show you guys the warm-up for today.
Was our last warm-up Wednesday?
Yes.
And
For
is
that
that
week.
So I make sure that it's the right warm-up. Was the question 5 ways to develop mentally?
Our last journal was 3 questions from the slideshow. So it's on the journal page, so we can talk about that at the end, but right now I need to do the warm-up, okay?
Yeah, I was talking about the warm-up. I wasn't talking about the journal.
Yeah. Oh, the warm-up I don't remember. It's on the Google Classroom, so you'll have to check there. All right. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, start. 2 minutes. And if you are not muted, could you mute for me, please?
I'm trying, but the thing won't work.
All right, well, just keep trying. That's all you gotta do.
I'm running out of time from the time I get to it.
You'll have all week to work on it, Tanner, if you don't get it done in the...
Can we put we're not sure about how many kids we want to have?
I don't want to full screen. Come on. I had it too.
If you can be specific, that'd be great. But if you don't want to put a specific number, then explain why.
This would be difficult. Forget it. crap, I exited out of my warm up.
Just take a second, Tanner. You're fine.
Never mind, there it is.
"45 seconds."
Come on. Hmm.
14 seconds. Okay.
Oh, dang it.
All right, Tanner, you're gonna have to try to mute because your voice is
Stop, I can't
overshadowing.
mute, it's broken.
For him, is it possible to mute it for him?
I'm trying, but there isn't. I can't seem to get it to go. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about what's up and coming. So I'm gonna stop presenting right now.
Or you could click Control D, Tanner, and it works like that too. Try Control D and it mutes it.
How do I unmute it too?
You click the same thing to unmute it too.
Okay.
Thanks, McKenna. Okay, so I'm gonna do a temperature here in a minute, but as far as the weekly calendar goes, today we're gonna continue working through the slideshow, and it's gonna be mainly on parenting, and then there'll be a couple activities that we'll do this week as well. I'm gonna have them due before class, so when I assign it today, that means it's gonna be due on the 22nd by 11:59. Okay, so it'll be done during the class that we meet on Wednesday, so we can talk about it a little bit. And then when I assign the next thing, it'll be due the next day at 11:59 as well. So just some things up and coming. And then once we get through the PowerPoint and all of our activity sheets, then we will be looking at a review sheet and the assessment. Okay, so just kind of plan that for next week. And for those of you that do get that kind of thing a little bit early, I will make sure that I send it to you via email, okay? But that's kind of our weekly agenda for what's coming. If you have any questions or concerns, you can stay back a little bit before I end everything today, and then we can talk about that, okay? So let's hold those questions until the end. All right, so I want to figure out where we are. So please in the chat, put down your number of where you are as far as your thoughts and feelings about things today. And so I'm going to show you that same slide that we saw before about where you are as far as your emotions go. Let's see. Let's have Caden. Can you be my MC today? Caden, are you there? Okay, thank you. All right. So can you see my screen, Caden? Okay, thank you. The reason I need you to be the MC is because I can't always see the chat, so I'm gonna go present now, so you'll have to tell me if you can't see or hear or whatnot. Okay, so here is our slide. So where are you along the continuum here for your feelings today? 1, happy, 2, calm, 3, angry, 4, frustrated, 5, sad. And if there's another emotion you're feeling, then do, just write in the chat your emotion. It'll take a minute to do that.
How do I find the PowerPoint when you present? How do I find that slide?
you would go to Google Classroom, and that's where it will be. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of recap a little bit, and I'm going to need you guys to kind of cue in. So let's talk about, I'm going to give you an example, and I want you to tell me if that is more of a physical, emotional, mental, social, or moral development. Okay? So you can either put it in the chat or you can unmute and tell me. So if looking at a brother or sister is smiling, what type of development? Physical, mental, emotional, social, or moral? What do you think on that one? And if there's something in the chat, Caden, I need you to tell me what it is. Krisha, when a baby is looking at a brother or sister and smiling, is that more of a physical, mental, emotional, social, or moral development?
Sylvia said emotional, and Caitlin said
I say emotional.
that.
Okay, so that's going to be more social. Okay. If a baby recognizes its own name, is that physical, mental, emotional, social, or moral? A baby recognizing its own name. How about Logan? If a baby recognizes its own name, physical, mental, emotional, social, or moral? Taylor, do you know? Hello?
What was the question again?
When a baby recognizes its own name, is that more of a physical, mental, emotional, social, or moral development?
I'd say mental.
That's correct. And then if a baby lifts its head or rolls over, is that more physical, mental, emotional, social, or moral? What do you think
Physical?
on that one? Physical, yes. And then like knowing between right or wrong, is that more physical, mental, emotional, social, or moral?
Moral.
Thank you. And then love, hate, fear, jealousy, is that more physical, mental, emotional, social, or moral?
Emotional.
Emotional. Thank you. Excellent. All right. So I'm going to move back into our PowerPoint, and you guys can continue to take notes as you have been. So let me get this where it needs to be here. And I might be recapping a little bit because I cannot exactly remember where we left off. So this might be a little recapping for you, but hopefully not too terrible. Okay. Let me get organized here. All right. So the objectives that we're going to be looking at, or things I want you to grasp from this next little section, is what factors determine readiness for parenthood? Like, how do you know if you're ready or not? What changes parenthood? Oh, things that people believe that are not true, but they believe them to be. And then what are the demands and rewards of parenthood? So, you know, what am I going to get out of it? What are the demands that it's going to place upon me? So having a baby and becoming a parent are not the same things. The birth of a child is usually only the first step to becoming a parent. And I'm going to define parenthood, which I almost feel like we did this slide, but humor me. Okay, so parenting is the process of taking on the responsibility for the needs, and those include physical needs, social, emotional, mental, and financial of one or more children. When you become a parent, you assume responsibility for another human being who will be dependent on you for many years. The job of parenting is probably the most rewarding of all experiences and also the most demanding. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about readiness before I flip to the next slide. So I'm just reading off my notes. So, the next slide's not going to come for a minute, okay? Okay, so the demand of parenthood are enormous. Parenthood requires that a person puts their needs and wants of a child before his or her own. Once a child is born, a couple's life changes greatly. The child becomes a major factor in all the plans and all the decisions. Unlike most decisions, the decisions to have a child are irreversible. Okay, so once the child's here, it's a little irreversible. You can change jobs, you can alter your education and your career plans, you can end old friendships, start new ones. And when you have a child, however, you've committed yourself to them. Before making that commitment, a person must be willing to accept the responsibilities of parenthood. And so it's important to examine how we all feel about having children, which is kind of, if you're on the fence at this point in time, or you think you want them, maybe this will just give you a better perspective on, yes, I do want them, or maybe I need to think this through a little bit more. So when the time comes for having children, here are some questions for you and your spouse to ask yourself. So these are just rhetorical, which means they don't require an answer from you at this time, but they are questions that you need to kind of think about and to process before you get to the stage of your life where you decide you want kids. So, do you want children would be the question. At what stage of your life do you think you will be ready to have a baby? So like for myself, and this is just me personally, I wanted to be married. I wanted to have my career all established. I wanted a home. Those are kind of the three things that I wanted before I took that next step to bring somebody else into this world. Okay, that's me personally. Okay, there's people that have different thoughts and beliefs on different readinesses when it comes to being a parent, but I'm just speaking from myself. Okay. How many children would you like to have? So when I was at that stage when I wanted to have children, I knew I wanted 2, but the third one I wasn't 100% sure. But I am a third child, so I thought to myself, if my parents didn't have 3 children, I would not be here. And so that kind of lent itself a little bit to my decision, but just being able to know that we could handle having another child in all aspects was another part of the decision-making process. How can you afford to support them? So again, I was married with a double income. I had my job. So those were 2 things that were key in me making that decision, if I could afford them or not. And then if you have more than 1 child, how would you like to space them? So we talked, I kind of remember talking about this a little bit last time, where, you do want to space them at certain times, but that's not always going to happen for you. There could be a fertility issue where you may not be able to get pregnant real easily, and you might have to go to the doctors or for a fertility clinic for someone to help with the pregnancy, and that could take a little bit more time than what you are thinking. And so even though we want to plan things out and we want our children to be spaced in a certain years or months apart, it's not always going to happen that way. There are people that can do that, and that's awesome, but there's some people that just, even though they want to have children 2 years apart, it's not always going to happen that way. Okay. You have to think about how a baby fits into your long range goals. Like, how will a baby affect the time and money required to further my education? So, if you went to school for 4 years or just went to high school, is there a chance that having children is going to give you an opportunity to build upon your career or go, and take some college courses? You got to think of that. How does a baby fit into work and career plans for both father and mother? So, can you work and still be a parent? And, are you willing to do childcare and have some?
Oh, Kyla said her Wi-Fi isn't working, so she couldn't join early.
Thank you. You scared me. I'm like, okay. Wow. Okay. Anyway, so now we're gonna go to the slides where you guys can jot some things down here. Okay. So there's different types of readiness. So physical readiness has to do with considering your own health, physical examinations, good health habits. Women under 17 and over 35 do face greater risks in pregnancy than women between those ages. So when I wanted to have a baby, I had to decide that I needed to go to the doctor and make sure that I was healthy and able to have a child. I was 26 when I conceived, and that means when egg and sperm met, that's conception. And I had to decide that, I wasn't going to drink alcohol. Sometimes caffeine can be a consideration too, and I decided I wasn't going to do that. So those are just good health habits. We wouldn't encourage somebody to have their physical readiness if they were addicted to a substance or something like that, because that would not be considered good health. And so when you're physically ready, it doesn't always have to be like your body is able to have a baby. You need to be healthy and you need to be living a healthy lifestyle. Okay. The next one is emotional readiness. So for emotional readiness, we're looking at, are you mature enough to accept responsibilities of having a child? You might, like a 16, 17-year-old may be physically able to have a baby, but are they mature enough to deal with the responsibilities? There's some people that would disagree with that. Are you willing to give up time and freedom to care for your child? You can't just, leave your baby in the crib and go out for the evening and hope to come back and have everything be okay. This is a person that's your responsibility, and you have to remember that your freedom and time is going to be diminished. My kids are older and I'm developing more freedoms, but parenting is a full-time job. I can't just, say, I'm not going to be a parent today, or I'm going to take off 3 hours from being a parent. You're always going to be a parent no matter what, 24/7, probably their whole life, just because this is one individual that you care tremendously about and you don't want anything bad to happen to them. And so being a parent, you have to devote yourself to them. Unselfish and flexible. So again, their needs are going to have to come before yours. So if it's diapers versus new pairs of shoes, let's say, diapers are going to have to overshadow that. They're going to have to come first. Express love and affection in a consistent and generous way. Everyone needs love and affection. Can you control your emotions? There's some people that can't control their anger, and then they lash out at their children, maybe with words, maybe with physical abuse. Those are things you have to be able to control. And your frustration, shaken baby syndrome is a real thing that parents can't control their anger or frustration, and invariably they might shake the child to the point where it could cause their death or injury. So you got to be emotionally ready. Marriage is another thing. Is it happy? Is it stable? It's an important factor in preparing for a family. Dealing with the demands of parenthood is much easier if you and your partner respect and love one another. You should examine your own as well as your partner's ability and willingness to share the responsibilities of parenthood. You know, to me, marriage is a two-way street, okay? It's a 50-50. So if you're not feeling going into being a parent is like that, then you need to discuss that. If it's okay with you, that's something you'll have to discuss. But if you want a 50-50 relationship where you both share equally in the raising and development of this baby, that's going to be something important. The quality of happiness in a stable marriage. So I have some questions or things that can be asked to figure out if you're in a happy and stable marriage. So I'm just going to go through some of them. So you are in a well-adjusted marriage if both partners agree on important relationship issues such as child rearing. So if you and your partner do not agree on how to raise a child, that can be a big piece of what could divide a marriage, okay? And make it difficult because you both have different thoughts and opinions, and you know, that can get in the way of raising that child. Do you have common interests? Do you participate in activities together? Do you show affection towards one another? Do you express feelings and share confidences with one another? Do you have a few major complaints about the marriage? Do you feel a sense of companionship? Do you feel generally calm, peaceful, happy? Now, if you're walking on eggshells, and that's just a figure of speech, but you know, if you're feeling like you can't do anything without, you know, somebody yelling at you, or you're feeling uncomfortable in the relationship, that's not a stable marriage, okay? So those are just a few types of things to think about when it comes to marriage. And then financial readiness. So the cost of having a baby, to raise them, you know, up until age 18. There, you got to think of the medical care for the mother during her pregnancy, and her birth, yearly checkups. You know, babies go for yearly checkups. You know, if you're in sports, you're still getting a yearly checkup. You know, diapers, are you gonna, most people are just gonna buy diapers versus cloth. Furniture, like what does the baby need? Toys, baby food, you know, are you gonna feed the baby formula? Are you gonna breastfeed? What are you gonna do? Formula can be really expensive, especially if a baby eats every hour. And then you have to always go to the store and get it. You have to make sure it's the right formula because some babies don't like certain formulas. You have to heat it, make sure it's at the right temperature. If you choose to breastfeed, then that's something that's always at body temperature. You don't ever have to heat it up. It's open 24/7. There are some benefits to breastfed babies as far as the nutrition that they're receiving along those lines. So you got to be thinking about all of those things. You need a bigger living space because you have not only 2, but now 3. Babysitting, are you going to have somebody, you know, look after your child, and what's that going to cost? Clothes, babies grow out of their clothes very quickly. So being able to supply all of that, you know, it costs a lot. It's not cheap, you know. And then I did a baby calculator, a cost calculator, so I'll show this to you. Kaden, can you still see me? Hello? Sylvia, can you still see me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, you can see how much will it cost?
Yeah. How much will it cost to
Okay.
raise your child?
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I just need someone to respond to me. Okay, so this is kind of a cool thing. You could do, are you single? Are you married? How many kids do you have? And then it'll figure out like the regions, because sometimes where you live is going to depend on how much is the cost of living will be. And then you can calculate it. So I was just going to do, like, let's say I was single, I had 1 child, and I make less than 59,000. So this is just an average cost of what everything would be for the child. And this is up to, I think it's up to 17, raising a child born from birth to age 17. So this is just gives you an idea of the most that you're going to spend money on is housing, and then food, and then childcare and education. And then it kind of trickles down from there, from transportation, clothing, healthcare, miscellaneous items. But it's not cheap. It's not something you want to go into lightly, because, you know, it does cost a lot of money. And that's just me being single with one child. You know, what'll happen if I go up? So let's go back, and I'll do multiple children. So let me go married with 3 kids, less than 59,000, and I live in Michigan. So there's the cost there. So it goes up quite a bit, and that's 3 kids, you know, give or take. But 2 incomes, but you know, that's pretty pricey. So just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what things are going to cost when it comes to childcare. Okay. And then the next one is, not sure how I got it here, but hold on. Okay. There we go. I'm back. Readiness as far as values and goals are concerned. Okay. For example, values and goals. So these are, again, rhetorical questions, but things that you need to ask yourself when it comes to deciding on having a child. And that is, you know, what kind of lifestyle do you want for yourself and your family? You know, do you want to be able to go out and buy things, let's say, for your home and still provide for your child? Or, you know, what kind of house do you want? How much do you want to pay for the house? How much do you want your payments to be? What kind of car do you want to drive? You know, are you going to go to college? Are you going, you know, there's so many questions. How does a baby fit into your work and career goals and into those of your partner? So like if you have a really demanding job, like let's say a lawyer, you know, how would that fit into that type of career occupation? What kind of future do you want for your children? You know, you got to think of that. What do you want for them? What trade-offs are you willing to make to balance the needs of your children with your personal goals? And are you sure of the values and moral standards you wish to pass on to your children? So like, for example, when I was your age, I can remember saying to myself, oh, I'll never do that with my kids. Or there's no way I would ever, you know, say those words or use those words, or I would let my child do this or that or whatever. And I'm sure you have thought it. But we do learn by role modeling. And so our children look to us to, you know, see what we do, how we handle things. You know, you are a walking role model where they are going to look up to you. And even though I swore I would never, ever, ever say the things that my parents said to me, invariably I wind up doing it. And then I have to think to myself, I didn't want to do that. Or I remember saying I would never do that. So you got to be thinking about those things and really making a conscious choice of, if you really choose to be, you know, raise your children a different way, you know, you're going to be kind of breaking the mold per se, because it's going to be difficult for that. And then my last one is, if in doubt, wait. So the decision to have a child should rest on your experience, your knowledge, and your long-range goals. Okay, so if in doubt, wait. If you're not sure you want to have kids, it's not something, just because 3 of your friends have a child does not mean that you need a child. You know, it's got to be something that you alone decide. And if you're having or wavering in any way, it's probably something that we should wait upon. Okay. Okay. So let's go to your journal. And again, that's in Google Classroom. It's under this week's journal entries. So if you could see that. Is everyone able to find it okay? I can show it to you. It's in parenting. And it's right here, journal 21 through 25. And, I mean, you can use this page. I made a copy of it, I believe, for you. But I want you to answer these questions in your journal. So my plans for continuing my education include, you could say, I'm going to graduate high school and go into the workforce. Or I'm going to graduate high school and I'm going to go to a 4-year college and become. Number 2, the lifestyle I want to have 5 years from now includes. So think about, in 5 years, what does your lifestyle look like? I'm going to be in school. I'm going to be working. What does it look like? I plan to have a house, an apartment, a car. I plan to start a family when? Think about when would be a good time for you or where it would fall in your plans. The number and spacings of my children, that was today's warm-up, so I gave you an opportunity to kind of think about it. Financial support for my child or children will be accomplished through a physical condition and health habits are. My ability to control my emotions is good, bad, under control. My willingness to assume complete responsibility for a child is the time and energy I have to give to a child are, and my willingness to give up my free time for a child is, and you finish the sentence, okay? So I want you to work on that for, let's say, 2 minutes. If you don't get it done, it's there all in, you have till Friday to complete it. But I do want to give you some class time as if we were really sitting in the room doing this in class. So let's take a couple minutes to kind of work on it. And then if you don't get it done, you can always go back.
Hey, I got a question.
Yep.
So, this journal thing, like, do we write on this one, or do we answer these questions on our own journals?
Well, I think to keep it simple for everybody, that you should probably just answer them in your journal that you already have made. But I'm just trying, because somebody asked me last week if I would put the journal entries in Google Classroom, and so that's kind of what I'm trying to do, so that you have the information if you need it to go back or what have you.
Okay.
But if that, Tanner, if that is too difficult and you don't, and it's easier to write on this, then write on this. It's fine.
I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yep.
It's about what you talked about. Like, it's about fertility. Does that mean, like, if you had something put in you when you were a kid, like a implant or something, if you're ready to have a kid, would you have to get that removed?
So, are you talking about a contraceptive method, like something that prevents pregnancy?
Yeah, like when you're a kid, you can go to the
Yep. So if they were like one of the things I know you're speaking of is called an IUD, an intrauterine device, and that would have to be removed, yes, if you wanted to have a child.
How about if it's in your arm?
Oh, Norplant? Yes, that would have to be removed, yes.
Okay, I was just wondering because,
Yep.
like, you said fertility, and that brought up that question.
Yep, exactly. Yep. So that device is preventing pregnancy from occurring. And so if you wanted to have a pregnancy, yeah, that would have to be removed for that to occur.
And you can also have it for other reasons too. It doesn't have to be like pregnancy reasons, right? To get those things.
If you are on Norplant, that's usually the main reason why you have it.
Because I got it for a different reason.
Okay. Okay. Is there anybody that's using my screen for this? Because I wanted to go to something else, but I don't want to take it away if you're using it. Okay. I'm going to go to something else.
Can we add a Google Doc to?
Yeah. Yes. You certainly can.
Tanner, can you mute your mic? I can hear background noises.
This thing's not letting me type on it.
Just make a copy of it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, I'm just looking at some of the comments here. Okay. So I want to do our last thing together and give you a little bit of time to work on it. So I need to show it to you. And then I'm going to assign a couple things. So if you're still working on your journal, maybe, just kind of put it up in the tab for now, because I need to go to this next thing. And I wanted to go to this. Whoops. I don't think, am I still presenting? Oh, I am. Okay. So this is just showing you the things that I've graded up to this point. I still have to do the journal. So I only have 2 scored, as you can see, but everything else I've scored. So just make sure that you guys are turning those in, because these are the things I've graded so far. Okay. This next assignment I did put in Google Classroom under Unit 1. And it's called Signs of Parenthood Readiness Activities. And we're going to work on this week, so it's not due until October 2nd, which I believe is next week sometime.
I think it would be next week, Tuesday, maybe.
Okay. Well,
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's next week. Thursday, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to double check that one. Anyway, so this, I'm going to show it to you, and then we're going to talk about it. So, this is what it looks like. Hopefully it'll come in, but this is your activity 1. And if you're still doing the journal, you kind of need to pay attention to this, because this is where I'm going to explain how to do it. And then once we're all done, I'll take questions. So activity 1, reasons for having children. So the right reasons for having children: because you want to add depth to a strong marriage. You have a solid and committed relationship. You are physically mature to care and love for a child. You are emotionally mature and want to care and love for a child. You are ready for the rewards of parenthood. You want to experience the special parent-childhood bond. You love children and want to be a parent. You are financially able to provide for a child, and you are ready to give a child your time and attention. The wrong reasons: you want to prove adulthood. You want to please someone else. You want the emotional benefits. You are looking for respect and status. You want to escape a situation. Society expects it. You want to improve a struggling relationship. You want to fit in with your peers. And you want someone to take care of you in the future. Okay? So this next sheet is going to kind of explain things a little bit. All right, so there are scenarios, like if you look down here, these are all scenarios, A through I. And what you're going to do is you're going to copy and paste the scenario in this box and answer these questions. Do you think this couple is ready for a baby? So you'd say yes or no, and you'd explain why, and you can use the wrongs and rights up here if you want to help describe why they're ready or not ready. What additional changes, problems, or conflict might occur, positive or negative? Put those here. And then what advice would you give this couple? And then you're going to get another scenario from below. Okay, A through I. And then you're going to run through the same questions. Now I have picked scenarios for everybody, okay? So that I got a wide variety of people picking scenarios. So I'm going to give you your lettered scenario. And you can, I made a copy of this for you guys so you could write them right in here if you needed to or wanted to. But I'm going to go ahead and delegate the scenario assignments. So,
There's only 2, right, that we have to do?
right. Yep. So let me get out of presentation mode for a minute. Okay. So I'm just going to go through the people that are here and give you your assignments. So Logan, I need to know that you're here. Logan. I thought he was. Maybe not. Okay. Logan, I don't see. Anybody else? Am I blind? Okay. Kaden, you're still here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to give you letters H and B. Those are your responsibilities, H and B.
Okay.
Okay. McKenna, yours are going to be G and C. Okay. Tanner, your letters will be F and D. Donovan, are you here? Donovan Kelly? I see you, but you need to respond. Okay, I won't give him one.
Ms. Epka, he said that he is here in the chat.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yep, Donovan did. Yep.
Okay. So Donovan, it's D and E for you. And then Kyla, E and F. Are you here, Kyla? I know she had trouble getting in and out. No?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you are? Okay. Did you hear E and F? Okay. And then I saw Amelia, but I don't see her now. Oh, there she is. Yeah, sorry. You're up in this part of my screen that I can't see real well. C and G for you. And then Gia, are you here? Miller, I see you now.
Yeah.
Okay, B and H for you. Okay, and then Taylor, A and I. Sylvia, I and A. Carly, are you here? I don't see Carly. Callie, are you here? Oh,
Yeah.
I see you now. Okay, you're gonna be G and C. And then Trisha Smith, E and F. And then I'm going to say this name wrong and I want you to correct me because I don't say it enough and Sweet, tell me your first name and I'll tell you your letters.
My name's Azaria.
Oh, dang it, that's what I was going to say. All right, my bad. C and G.
Okay.
JK, B and H. Michael, yours are going to be I and A.
Okay.
Thank you. And then I haven't seen Cameron. Grace, I saw you. I'll make sure I got you on attendance too. Okay, Grace, you are going to be given G and C. And then I didn't see Xavier. So Caitlin, I think Caitlin's here. Yeah, there she is. D and E for you.
All right.
Did I not get, did everyone get their letters or do I need to give somebody a letter that didn't receive one? Okay. All right. So let me show you this next thing and then I'm going to give you time to work on these guys. Okay.
Ms. Epka,
Yes.
Sierra Smith said she did not get
Oh, okay. Thank you. I
You're welcome.
can't see that. Oh, there it is. Okay, so Sierra, sorry, you
And
are going to be given D and E for Sierra. Sorry
Miss
about that.
Rosacco,
Yes,
Okay.
Eden.
my cat isn't loading.
Yeah, I think I'm having a little difficulty there too, but is there something you needed in the chat, or
No, I'll just
you're just my guy? Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying? Okay, no, you're fine. Miss Gray's catching the what's getting missed, so.
I don't think somebody got, when I seen somebody say something that they didn't get a letter.
Yeah,
Just
Kelsey Thomas didn't either. Sorry, McKenna. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay, Kelsey Thomas. Yes, I have that also. And let me double check that I have them checked off in the attendance, because maybe that's why I missed them. Okay, Kelsey, you are going to be A and I. Anybody else? Is anyone else noticing if somebody's missing? I think I got everybody now, hopefully. Okay, so let me show you this last little thing, and then I'll give you your time to work. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to have you work on here, and then Sylvia, let me know if you can't see this because you're my vocals. Okay. Activity number 2, qualities that make a great parent. So you're going to brainstorm characteristics and qualities that would make a great parent and write them in the box that corresponds with the letter. So like you can use this one if you want as your first one. A, affectionate. You know, B, you could put something there. C, all the way down to Z or XYZ. Okay. And so that's what's due tomorrow by midnight. The qualities, activity 2, and then the 2 scenarios that you're just going to answer these 3 questions about. Okay. And you can use the top if you need to as a resource. Okay. So now I will take questions. Sylvia, did you see all that?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
Would you mind telling me my numbers again so I can
Yes.
write them down?
I'll be glad to. Sylvia, you are I and A.
Thank
Okay.
you.
McKenna, go ahead.
You said there was like, for the box things down below, you said there was like through Z. Is it okay if I can't think of all those, I can try to get most of them in?
As always, you know that I would be okay with that. Okay. All right. So I will take any questions you have, but I want to give you some class time. And if I give you class time, you should be working on it. Okay. So if you have questions, you can stick around, or if you have something that you want to say. But always be checking Power School because I'm not real happy with the class's average. So do your best to try to get everything in. And then if you have questions or concerns, you can stick around. And Donovan, I'll tell you your letters in just a second. Or you can go work on your assignment. I'm going to be here until 12:20. So if you figure you have a question, come on back. But after 11:20, I'll be gone. So work on your assignment. Michael, question?
Yes. What if someone didn't have access to Power School?
Oh, well, that's not a good thing. Why not? If you got computer access here, why can't you get Power School?
Because I don't know the password to my thing.
Your birthday.
Okay, Caden said it's your birthday.
I tried. It didn't work.
Okay.
Maybe you have to,
Like the month, the day, and then the year.
yeah, sometimes
Like
you have to,
9.
yeah.
Did you hear that?
I tried all the methods that you guys just said, and it didn't work.
What I would suggest you do is a help desk, and they can then further assist you.
In the
Okay.
beginning of the year, did you get that paper with all your passwords and stuff on it?
Yes. I got the
Look up.
paper.
Do you
Okay.
still have it?
Yes, I still have it.
Look on the paper and it will show it to you.
I did, and it tried it, and it didn't work. So,
Just try it one more time, but slow down when you write it this time because you could have misspelled something or you could have typed something wrong.
no, because I can easily click the button where you can see the password putting in.
Right. We'll do a help desk. Maybe they can help figure it out. Thanks, McKenna. I am going to give Donovan his number or letters again. So Donovan, it was letter D and E. And then if you guys are good, go ahead and continue working. And then I'll be here till 12:20 if you have questions.
Donovan's wondering what to do with the number. I mean the letter.
Okay, so if you were listening in class, I went to the Google Classroom document and it was called Signs of Parenthood Readiness Activities. And in that, I read off scenarios, and those scenarios you have to answer questions about. So, or you can go back and replay the video. So you should have been paying attention.
I'm gonna go, Miss Epka. Bye.
Hi, McKenna. So I would start there, Donovan. So if you're all set, go work on it, and then I'll be here if you need me.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Michael. How you doing, Tanner? Are you okay? Go ahead, bud.
Where's that one thing,
What thing?
the thing you just presented?
The worksheet you mean on parenthood readiness?
Yeah, I don't see it.
Okay, I'll show you. Let me get to my screen. Okay. So you're going to go to Classroom, and it's right here under Unit 1 Child Parent right here. Do you see that?
All I see, I don't see you at one children parent. All I see is, I don't even know where this is. You're on classwork.
Are you here?
Yeah.
Okay, go to up here and go to classwork.
Okay, I just need to do something real quick.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Anybody else need anything? All right, Miss Gray.
All right. Well, I just wanted to remind you again, I'm going to try to get on my phone for 6th hour.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully I can do that for culinary. So
Right.
if I can't and you need something and I'm like showing up but not answering or whatever, just let me know.
Right.
Send me a text or
Okay.
something.
Okay. We'll do you.
Okay. Yeah, this was kind of a last minute appointment
Right.
thing for my son. So I was like, well, I guess
Right,
we're gonna
do
make
the
this
best you
work.
can,
So
That's right. That's all you can do. So,
yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully
All
I'll
right,
see
sounds
6th
good.
hour.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Grace, do you need something? Are you good? Grace?
I'm good. I just stay on here in case I have any questions.
okay,
Then that way I don't have to click back on.
Okay. You're good. I'll be here till 11:20, and then I gotta get going to my next hour.
All right.
Thanks. All right, Grace, I'm heading out.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.